Well, guys, Trump is back, and the first thing he did today was leave the WHO, which is the most corrupt, the Health Organization, the most corrupt entity there is. They're the ones who gave us the pandemic. They're the ones who gave it all. Let's see him get rid of that junk.
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir?
Ooh, that's a big one. So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350 to pay. Nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally, but let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million. We were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out. They offered me to come back for 39 million. In theory, it should be less than that, but, you know. And when Biden came back, they came back for 500 million. He knew that you could have come back for 39 million. They wanted us back so badly, so we'll see what happens.
And what he's saying when he's saying 500 million, he's saying that was a voluntary donation. Everyone has to give compulsory donations, so it's actually, the US actually gives 750 million, by far the highest donor to the WHO. And now he's going to stop all the spending, which means there's a huge shortfall. Now, why would you do that? The World Health Organization sounds so amazing. Remember, they're the ones who changed the definition of a pandemic to allow corona to be called a pandemic. Then they changed the definition of what is a vaccine, because what they call the COVID vaccine is simply a DNA gene therapy. It's not a vaccine. It's not a dead or live virus being injected to build your immune system. It's a blocker of the receptors. So it's nothing to do with a vaccine. They changed the definition in order to pass it through. So they're the ones who gave us all the 2 years of hell, everything, the inflation, everything hell that everyone's going through now is because of them. Now why? Their head was appointed by Beijing, by China. And they were the ones who basically, China's behind the scenes of the WHO. They're the ones who appointed him in. He's the one who made the changes. And then when China did lockdown, he said, right, the whole world has to do it. Oh, they did masks. Everyone has to do masks as well. And through them, making sure that everyone else complied, with a World Health Organization, not appointed by anyone, not democratically appointed. Again, remember, it's just China. All global entities are simply communist Marxists. They have no representation. They are not democratic. You can't vote them out. And yet our countries follow these global bodies. Every country needs to be sovereign. There should be no World Health Organization. There's no need for them. There's been plenty of pandemics for 5,000 years. The world has dealt with them. Don't worry, right? You don't need a global organization to help you. You also don't need a World Bank, which also causes penury in the third world. And we can go on and on with all these global organizations. Second thing he did was pardon all the January 6th corrupt trials, 1,500 people put in prison for nothing, for being at a rally. The doors were opened. You want to charge the people that broke in, fine, no problem. But the people that just entered the Capitol building, not doing anything, you're going to put them in prison. So he pardoned them as well.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutations?
Full pardon.
And finally, what did he do? He also left the Paris Climate Change Agreement again. He did it in 2016 as well. He's now doing it again after Biden's reinstation. This is the total rubbish that gives us net zero and climate change and all this garbage, forcing everyone to the deadline of 2030 when everyone has to be under the World Economic Forum's auspices, essentially, and everyone has to comply with carbon targets and EVs. And the only way to do that is through digital ID, because otherwise you can't track the carbon emissions. And it's all basically totalitarianism through the back door. That is all it is. No one actually gives a damn about climate change. everyone knows it's not even real. I mean, if it was real, that you could have a point, but it's not even real. So it's just absolute garbage. And he left that as well. I mean, these guys basically are on hold. Now, the WHO, what are they going to do? I don't know. They'll probably take out loans for 4 years, hoping someone else will come in and back them up at the end of it. Remember, there's a hard deadline of 2030. I think they've pushed it maybe to 2035, where everyone will be a WEF dictate. Every country will be exactly the same. Like Corona, right? That was the playbook. Corona was the starters to see if everyone could comply. What's going to happen is in 2020, 2035, is everyone's going to have we have to have the same net zero. Oh, we have to have the same EVs. Oh, we have to have the same pandemic treaty. Oh, we have the same International Criminal Court corrupt organization. All started with the United Nations, another undemocratic, illegal. They were the initial undemocratic, illegal globalist organization, right? That is the problem. He's leaving all of them. He's just defunded UNRWA, the United Nations Palestinian crazy mission that were basically Hamas, UNRWA, they're exactly the same, right? They were, Sinwar was caught with an UNRWA passport. It's a joke, right? So the United Nations, all these globalist bodies are simply totalitarian, Marxists. Remember, the USSR was behind the United Nations. They were the big backers. And now it's China taking the place. And that's the way the world is going. So Trump is saying, we don't want any of this. We don't want any of your global organizations, which is basically a mask for China, basically a mask for China, essentially. And that's it. He's out. And I have to respect him for that. He's very impressive. That is exactly what he should be doing. Everything should be democratically elected. And, you know, if they want to vote in the Democrats next time, who will guaranteed sign them back up to this? That's fine. But if you don't, this is the way you go. So full respect to President Trump about what he's doing in these things. What else did he do? Oh, beautiful one today as well. He sacked the head of the Coast Guard, a woman, as if she's actually ever been saving in the Coast Guard. But anyway, woke diversity freak, sacked her. Brilliant. You gotta love the guy, doesn't care. And my favorite is he's in the Oval Office signing these things and he knows every single detail about every single thing he's signing. When I remember Biden doing this 4 years ago, he had no clue. What am I doing? Oh, right, okay. That's all it would be. Oh, okay, fine, that's for this. What's this for? Oh, okay. Could he speak to you about it? Could he tell you what he signed? No idea. Trump can give you a whole verb and list with facts about every single thing he's signing. That's what you want in charge of your country.